Hey, it's Jeremy from OpticHouse.com. So, in last week's video, I was talking about redrawing the cover for Morningstar issue 5. I wasn't quite happy with the way that the one I had currently drawn had came out. It wasn't a bad drawing, but I felt like the angle could be a little bit more dramatic, a little bit more unique, have a little bit more energy to it. So I was going to sit down and do a bunch of thumbnails and try to work out a new idea for it. Well, you never know who's watching when you post stuff online. And it turns out a good buddy of mine, Jesse Toves, he's an award-winning visual effects artist, worked on Battlestar Galactica, works on Defiance on the Sci-Fi Channel. Great guy, really talented artist. He happened to be watching the video and he needed a break from some stuff that he was working on. And so he rattled off a little quick thumbnail, not a thumbnail, but a digital sketch. That was the drawing that was on the left side of the screen before I started flipping open the books. And he just did it as an exercise to take a break, take his mind off of the stuff he was working on. And he said, yeah, I was watching your video, saw kind of the troubles you were having. And he said, this is just an idea that I had. And he wasn't even saying it like, you should use this for your cover sketch. He was just sharing it with me because he thought it might help me with the mental blockage I was having. And I looked at it and I'm like, this is a great sketch. I've been very lucky in the fact that over my journey into self-publishing and writing and drawing, creating comics, I've found a community of friends around me that are very supportive of the work I'm doing, the stuff that they're into. People that we're all into each other's work. The fact that Jesse, he's told me on many occasions that he thinks Morningstar is a really cool concept. That means a lot from somebody who works in the entertainment industry and sees all kinds of projects that people are pitching. So the fact they actually told me he thought it was a really cool idea, and he's always been supportive of my characters and the story in general. The fact that he thought my character was interesting enough, in this case, the cover is Gabrielle, interesting enough to sit down and want to do a sketch just to kind of relax, take his mind off. I was like, well, that's awesome. I was very flattered by that. And I ended up saying, I asked him if he would mind me using his sketch as the layout for my new cover. And he was like, yeah, sure, that's fine. Go with it. I'm too busy right now at the projects I'm working on to do anything further with it and take it to a finish. If it's helpful to you, by all means, go with God. And it's funny, when I first sat down when I first recorded the video and I said, I'm not 100% happy with the cover, I'm going to go and try and make this better. One of the things, it actually filled me with a lot of anxiety posting that video. Because what if I can't do it? What if I can't come out with a cover that's better? And then people think, well, what? You just put out a cover that you think sucks? And it's not that I thought the other drawing sucked. I just felt like it could go further. But it's very frightening to be vulnerable with your artwork out there. And usually I'm not too worried about what other people think. But when an artist criticizes their own work, then doesn't come with something better, it's kind of, it's kind of sorry. And there was a certain part of me that was like, I've always wanted the whole series to be kind of 100% me. And so I was a little bit hesitant to take a sketch from somebody else or a layout and do a piece based on somebody else's work as opposed to it being me. Like, that was a big thing for me, is wanting this series to be 100% out of my head and direct from me. I thought I was going to sit around and sketch for a few days, or maybe just sit down in one session, sketch for a few hours, try out a bunch of different iterations, and try and work through this and come up with something that had the strength I wanted the cover to have. But the more I looked at Jesse's sketch, I'm like, this is what I want. I don't know why I couldn't come up with it on my own, but I'm like, this sketch is what I want. So I'm glad that he was completely cool with me using it for the layout. And when I have the issue 5 in print, I'm going to print his original rough layout sketch in the book so you guys can see it. And, when somebody gives you gold, you can't just sit there and turn away from it. It's like, it's right there. Why would I waste any time, trying to do a different version? I figure, why not just run with it? It's like I keep hearing Ving Rhames' voice from Pulp Fiction in the back of my head saying when you're sitting down, sketching that cover, you can feel a little sting in the back of your neck. That's just pride. Fuck it with you. Oh, and one more thing. There's a link in the description of the video to Jesse's website. Go check it out. He's got a ton of great artwork on there. His experiments in 3D printing, his comic work, his visual effects work. You know, super talented guy. You should check it out. Sign up for his mailing list. That's it for now. Check out my website, optichouse.com. If you enjoy these videos, please share them. Also, sign up for my weekly newsletter to get a free digital download and see what else I'm working on. Go be creative.